Welcome everybody to Friday Night Smackdown, as we're coming to you live in Boston, Massachusetts, and of course we're 1 week removed from that shocking ending of last week's Smackdown, involving what's going on with the WWE Championship scene, which we will talk about, as of course, like I said, tonight's Smackdown is coming to you live in Boston, Massachusetts. Without further delay, let's take a look at what is going on tonight's show, as we are only 1 day away from Saturday Night Main Event. But before we talk about what's going on with the WWE Championship scene coming out of last week's ending of SmackDown, let's talk about what's our main event tonight, as Seth Rollins, because he's on a mission to destroying his own group that kicked him out after they lost in the War Games match at Survivor Series. And of course, target 1 is Austin Theory, and of course he does have Randy Orton on his target tomorrow night at Saturday Night Main Event. But of course he does have to focus on Theory, that's who he'll be facing in tonight's main event, as can Seth Rollins gain momentum going into his match with Randy Orton at Saturday Night Main Event and take down his first priority in taking down Legacy, or will Randy Orton make his presence known and help Theory upset Seth Rollins, as we'll find out in our main event later tonight. Also later on tonight, Roman Reigns will be in the building here in Boston, Massachusetts to address Drew McIntyre about what happened at the end of last week's SmackDown, as what does Roman Reigns have to say about Drew McIntyre after what Drew McIntyre did to Roman Reigns at the end of last week's SmackDown? We'll find out later on tonight. But to begin tonight's show, we have a United States Championship #1 contenders match between Ricky Starks and JD McDonough, and the winner of that match will take on Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship tomorrow night at Saturday Night Main Event. As who will be advancing to Saturday Night Main Event, we're going to find out as Ricky Starks versus JD McDonough is going to kick off tonight's SmackDown here in Boston, Massachusetts. As we are kicking off the show here tonight with Ricky Starks versus JD McDonough. And of course, Ricky Starks, of course, he did have a shot at the US title back at Bash of Berlin back in September, but he was unsuccessful. And of course, with Saturday Night Main Event ruling around tomorrow, I mean, there could be a chance where Ricky will finally win the title. As people are hyped for Ricky Starks here. And of course, what is on Ricky Starks' mind here? Going into this match here with JD McDonough. But because JD McDonough, well, of course, we don't know what's going on with the Judgment Day. Considering that of course Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez are challenging for the women's tag team titles tomorrow night. But of course JD McDonough is pretty much wanting to smell some championship gold, as he's barely done that since joining Judgment Day. I mean, over on Monday Night Raw, back when we had the European/Cruiserweight champion, he was. Then of course he would end up joining the Judgment Day when he went over to SmackDown last year. And of course, he was nothing but just pretty much being a side fault in the Judgment Day compared to Dominic Mysterio. And of course, Finn Balor, I mean, that's another story. Dominic, I mean, he did have a shot at Obafemi earlier this year, but he came up short against Obafemi back when Obafemi was the US champion. Finn Balor, I mean, it's been a struggle for him to get back into the world title hunt. Because he's been in the world title hunt and coming up short in every quest. Because whether that's the qualification, the triple threat matches for the qualification match for the Bash of Berlin #1 contenders match, and then the Elimination Chamber match for a WWE Championship match at WrestleMania against CM Punk. Without further delay, let's get into this match. Ricky Starks, JD McDonough, no Judgment Day ringside. Match begins. Of course, Ricky Starks is looking to do everything to earn another match with Jacob Fatu. As back-to-back reversals there. by Ricky Sage to Jaden McDonough. Also, more things to come here. Ricky Sage, Jaden McDonough reverses it. Reversal there by Ricky Sage. Well, that was a terrible missed timing there. Commanded there by JD McDonough. JD going for the pin. August, what is to come here on SmackDown tonight? Jade Cargill will be in action. The course, she's 3 weeks away from the championship match with Bianca Belair at the Royal Rumble. Roman Reigns looks to address Drew McIntyre after what happened. Looks to respond to Drew McIntyre after what happened at the end of last week's SmackDown. But of course, we have Tommaso Ciampa in action against a newly traded superstar, as we still have the superstar swap ongoing. And then of course, Seth Rollins versus Austin Theory, tonight's main event. And of course, remember, Super SmackDown Live is next week. I mean, this Tuesday. Ricky Sage pretty pissed at JD McDonough. This does not bode well for JD McDonough. Back of the ring that JD McDonough goes. This might be over for JD McDonough. As here we go for the pin. And Ricky Sage picks up the victory. And that means Ricky Sage gets another shot at the United States Championship, as he will get that tomorrow night at Saturday Night Main Event. Of course, he may be unsuccessful at Bash at Berlin. Now he's got another chance come Saturday Night Main Event. As can he take it back? We'll have to wait and see. I mean, as you can see, Ricky Sage picks up the victory against JD McDonough, as will we be looking at Ricky Sage as the new US champion come Saturday Night Main Event tomorrow night? We'll have to wait and see. As Ricky Sage gets the win to kick off SmackDown tonight in Boston, Massachusetts. Live on January 3rd on YouTube will be the Royal Rumble. The road to WrestleMania begins, as you do not want to miss the Royal Rumble, which will be the first PLE of 2026 here in Universe Mode, as you do not want to miss the Royal Rumble that comes your way on January 3rd on YouTube. As we're back here on SmackDown, as B-Fab is waiting in the ring, as she will be going one-on-one with Jade Cargill. That's right, Jade Cargill, who is of course getting ready for her rematch in 3 weeks at the Royal Rumble. And of course, she will be challenging Bianca Belair for the WWE Women's Championship. Of course, Bianca Belair cashed in on Jade Cargill back at SummerSlam after Jade Cargill won the Women's Championship from Liv Morgan. And of course, she's looking to take the title back come the Royal Rumble. As it comes things on the Royal Rumble so far, we're at the both 30 men and 30 women Royal Rumble match. Of course, we have Stephanie McMahon defending her Women's World Championship against Io Sky. Bianca Belair defending her WWE Women's Championship against Jade Cargill. Aleister Black defends his World Heavyweight Championship against Sami Zayn. And then of course, like I said, the aforementioned match known as the Men's Royal Rumble match, which that will be taking place in the main event. As of course, we have Saturday Night Main Event to focus on. As we're going to talk about what's going on, well, I mean, we have something planned to talk about Saturday Night Main Event in a moment. But of course, let's get into this match here as Jade Cargill, B-Fab. Let's go. Spear by Jade! Well, it's definitely going to take more than a basic spear for a win. Like I said, yep, I told you so. Oh! So far, B-Fab is getting some offense here. Oh, B-Fab is telling Jade Cargill to take it on. I mean, bring it on, they say. And of course, that's Jade heading to the top. Of course, well, Jade is pretty much on the top. Oh, Jade! And of course, let's talk about, we've also done by B-Fab as, let's talk about what's going on in the upcoming episode of Monday Night Raw. Back-to-back reversals there by B-Fab. And of course, let's talk about what's coming up on the next episode of Monday Night Raw. And because we have a big main event as John Cena will be in action against a newly acquired Raw superstar. And of course, who's that newly Raw superstar? Bicycle kick! And because we don't know who was traded, but because John Cena will be in action, and because there's still more superstar swaps to get through. Uh-oh! This might be over for B-Fab. Could it be? Let's find out. Kick out. Uh-oh. B-Fab making a comeback. We've all stood up by Jade. Uh-oh! A roll-up! Kick out before the ref even counted. Uh-oh! This might be it! Kick out! As B-Fab is pretty much dominating Jade Cargill so far. Kick out! As B-Fab is having a hard time here. And B-Fab is having a hard time. Uh-oh. spear! Another kick out. You can tell B-Fab is getting really tired. Uh-oh. Another Grand Slam. Here we go for the win. And of course, Jade Cargill picks up the victory. As of course, could this be the sign of what is to come at the Royal Rumble? And of course, we all thought B-Fab was going to get an upset win over Bianca Belair over Jade Cargill, but that was not the case as Jade Cargill picks up the victory. As could Jade Cargill regain her Women's Championship on January 3rd at the Royal Rumble? We're going to have to wait and see as she does get the win here on Raw tonight. I mean, here on Smackdown tonight. Jacob Fatu! We all know that you may have gotten the best out of me at Bash at Berlin, but now that I'm the #1 contender, I am looking to make up from what happened at Bash at Berlin. And I think I do have a master plan, and that is I will become the next United States champion. You had your time, Jacob Fatu. Now we're ready for a new era as far as who is the United States champion going forward, and that is me in Ricky Saints. So Ricky Saints, of course, is looking to make a promise to beat Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship tomorrow night at Saturday Night Main Event. Of course, he was unsuccessful at Bash at Berlin, but can he do it at Saturday Night Main Event? We'll have to wait and see. But of course, Roman Reigns is, of course, now going to be what we are going to be talking about next, because he's on his way to the ring to talk about what happened last week. And of course, we're back here on Smackdown in the ring. And of course, Roman Reigns is about to address Drew McIntyre after what happened last week on Smackdown. But of course, Roman Reigns did retain the WWE Championship against LA Knight. But of course, he was attacked by Drew McIntyre. Of course, making his return to WWE for the first time since June. But of course, he lost to John Cena in a last man standing match to close out the 2-month rivalry. Because of course they were feuding with each other for 2 months. And then of course it kicked off the rivalry, which would have a match at Clash at the Castle, and then they would have one more match prior to John Cena's match with AJ Styles at Money in the Bank. And of course, with us still looking at who was traded for CM Punk after CM Punk lost to Seth Rollins at SummerSlam, Drew McIntyre would end up being the man that was a part of the CM Punk trade. As we don't know who was a part. Well, because as of right now, Shinsuke Nakamura was a part of the Roman Reigns trade. We still don't know who was a part of the Austin Theory trade. Drew McIntyre was, of course, in the CM Punk trade. Leva Valkyria was in the Rhea Ripley trade. And of course, Tommaso Ciampa is going to be in action with that newly traded superstar later tonight. And of course, who do you think will be? And of course, we do have a couple of trades left. And of course, if it is Roman Reigns, I mean, Roman Reigns is pretty much happy to be back on Friday night. And of course, you can tell Roman Reigns, it's a great pleasure to see him back on top of the mountain here in WWE. Where do I start with? Oh yeah, what happened last week when I successfully retained my championship against LA Knight? What happened afterwards? Drew McIntyre, who we haven't seen in 6 months, decided to come on in, attack me, and stake claim that he wants a shot at the WWE Championship. Drew, just because you've been away for 6 months does not mean that you should get a shot at the title. Because since you pushed me to the limits after what you did to me last week. Because we haven't met since late 2023 when you were the Intercontinental Champion. I mean, we may have been in multi-man matches when we were on Monday Night Raw. But because I've had enough with you and I'm looking to settle it now with you. Since you want a shot at my WWE Championship, I will say this. You and me, January 3rd, at the Royal Rumble for the WWE Championship. So it seems that Roman Reigns is giving Drew McIntyre what he wants, and that is a WWE Championship match at the Royal Rumble. And on January 3rd, you will acknowledge me. And you will not be walking into, and you will acknowledge the fact that you are not winning the title and you're not going into WrestleMania season as the WWE Champion. So it seems that Roman Reigns has accepted Drew McIntyre's challenge for the Royal Rumble. And of course, the question is, can the OTC take down the Scottish Psychopath and ruin his chances of walking into WrestleMania as the WWE Champion? Or will the Scottish Psychopath take down the OTC and become WWE Champion and walk into WrestleMania as the WWE Champion? We'll have to wait and see come January 3rd at the Royal Rumble. Seth Rollins, I will be watching your match with Austin Theory tonight, because what you're about to do with Theory will not be happening with me tomorrow night. Because you can claim that you want your revenge because I fired you from my group after you let us down inside War Games at Survivor Series, when we promised to take over Friday Night Smackdown, but then you let us down when we lost. And then, of course, as I was demanding at Booker T last week to give me another match with the man he had to pull from Raw and get him back on Friday nights to steal the WWE Championship after I injured Cody Rhodes last week on SmackDown. And then I demanded Booker T for a rematch with Roman Reigns. And then, unfortunately, I didn't get Booker T. I got you, Seth Rollins. So, you know what? Honestly, I'm glad I'm accepting the challenge, because I will be destroying you. I'm sending you back to where you were. And that is the hospital. So Randy, and of course I will destroy you, and afterwards, depending what's going on with Roman Reigns and whatever he's doing going into the Royal Rumble, I will be waiting for Roman Reigns. Matter of fact, I might just enter myself into the Royal Rumble match. I will win the Rumble, and I will go on to main event WrestleMania and become the WWE champion like I should have done either at Bad Blood or hell, I should have never lost my title back at SummerSlam. But before I do that though, I'm going to whip you into shreds. And that all starts tomorrow night. So Randy Orton, of course, does have some choice words regarding his Saturday night main event opponent tomorrow night, and the man who attacked him in his return last week in Seth Rollins. Can Randy Orton make his words come true? Because, of course, Orton is making a promise that after he's done with Rollins, he's entering the Royal Rumble, and he's going to go on to win the Rumble. He's going to go main event WrestleMania and become WWE champion. Can he do that, though? I don't know, but he's got to focus on Seth Rollins tomorrow night here at Saturday Night Main Event. As you can see, coming up next here on Smackdown, Tommaso Ciampa will be in action against a newly traded superstar. As who will that newly traded superstar be? And of course, this is the wrestler that was a part of the New Day trade. And of course, who do you think will that be? We'll find out up next here on Smackdown. As we are back live here on Friday Night Smackdown in the ring, as we are getting ready for one-on-one action, as it will be Tommaso Ciampa versus a newly traded superstar. As who do you think was traded for the New Day? As we don't know who was traded for the New Day. And because New Day made their Raw appearance last week at the Slammy Awards, and because we still have the superstar swap ongoing, and because we have had people like Roman Reigns, who was originally a part of Monday Night Raw, but was traded over to SmackDown in place for Shinsuke Nakamura, who made his Raw appearance in the Gauntlet match this past Monday. Then, of course, Rhea made her presence back, returned to SmackDown last week. And then, of course, Live with Akira made a Raw return this past Monday. Because there's still more swaps left to go. As you can see, DIY, things hasn't gone that way all year. They won the tag team titles at WrestleMania, but then they lost it to the Street Profits at King and Queen of the Ring. So without further delay, who is Tommaso Ciampa facing here tonight? And it is the one half of the new catch. Oh wait, hold on. Who is that? It's the new Catch Republic. This is who was a part of the New Day trade. And of course, New Catch Republic is now here on Friday nights, of course, with how unstoppable the White Six has been. And of course, the White Six, of course, they retained the tag team titles last week against Pretty Deadly. Maybe we could see the New Catch Republic stepping up in the tag team division. Who knows? And I can't believe we're getting Pete Dunne versus Tommaso Ciampa here on SmackDown tonight. So who do you got winning? Pete Dunne? Crowd is chanting Ciampa here in Boston, Massachusetts. That's Tommaso Ciampa. Bring it to Pete Dunne. As because you can see they're doing chain wrestling. Now because Pete Dunne bring it to Tommaso Ciampa. There's Tommaso Ciampa bringing it on. Let's kick out there by Tommaso Ciampa. Reversal there by Pete Dunne by Tommaso Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa bringing it on. Kick out. Body slam there by Pete Dunne. As Tommaso Ciampa going for fairy tale ending on Pete Dunne. Here we go for the pin. And it's over for Pete Dunne as Pete Dunne's first night on Smackdown pretty much did not go the way he wanted it to go. Because this is the first time I believe Pete Dunne's on Smackdown. And because things did not get off to an amazing start here. As he would end up losing tonight to Tommaso Ciampa. As question is, will the DIY possibly get a shot at the White Six? Only time could tell as DIY picks up the victory here tonight. Tommaso Ciampa gets the win as DIY celebrates. Live on January 3rd on YouTube will be the Royal Rumble. The road to WrestleMania begins. As you do not want to miss the Royal Rumble, which will be the first PLE of 2026 here in Universe Mode, as you do not want to miss the Royal Rumble that comes your way on January 3rd on YouTube.
If you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button and then turn your notification bell on so you don't miss any content provided by
As you can see, it is now time for the Saturday Night Main Event Rundown that's taking place tomorrow, as the show is starting off with Jacob Fatu defending his United States Championship against Ricky Saints in a Bash and Ball rematch. CM Punk takes on Bronson Reed inside a steel cage. Charlotte and Becky Lynch defends their Women's Tag Team Championship against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Io Sky and Stephanie Raquel looks to work together 3 weeks before their championship showdown at the Royal Rumble as they take on Fallon Henley and JC Jane. And in the main event, Seth Rollins looks to terrorize Legacy, and because he will be going up against their leader in Randy Orton, as that is the rundown for Saturday Night Main Event as it takes place on YouTube tomorrow. As coming up next here on SmackDown, it is now time for the main event as Seth Rollins goes one-on-one with Austin Theory. And of course, Seth Rollins has done a goal towards getting his revenge on Legacy. And it all starts with Austin Theory. As question is, can Seth Rollins take down his first target in Legacy, or will Randy Orton get involved en route to Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton tomorrow at Saturday Night Main Event? We'll have to wait and see as our main event is up next here on SmackDown. As it is now time for our main event here tonight. And of course it is Seth Rollins versus Austin Theory. And of course Seth Rollins is on a claim he wants to destroy and burn Legacy to the ground. And of course Legacy, they kicked Rollins out after Rollins let his team down at Survivor Series for not getting them the victory in War Games against Cody Rhodes, Oba Femi, LA Knight, and Ricky Saints. And tonight, Seth Rollins is in action for the first time since Survivor Series, and he's back with his old persona, because the one he used a little bit last year. And because he was also feuding with Randy Orton, and then of course trying to take back the World Heavyweight Championship. Of course, after losing the title to Drew McIntyre at Survivor Series, only for Kevin Owens to cash in that night. And then of course Seth Rollins would get the rematch, would be in a Fatal 4 match with Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, who was the champion, and Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton at Bad Blood. Then of course he came up short, and then of course he went back to his old ways at the Royal Rumble, where of course he still came up short against Kevin Owens. I mean, I bet everyone is now shocked that Rollins and Roman are now on the same brand as, and of course Rollins even made a promise that, of course, he's looking to enter himself into the 2026 Royal Rumble match. And I mean, maybe we get the Shield brothers colliding at WrestleMania for the belt. And of course, Seth Rollins has had a shot at the WWE Championship twice this year. Actually, 3 times. The first time was at King and Queen of the Ring, the triple threat match at Money in the Bank, and then Clash at the Castle, and then Bash in Berlin. And he came up short in all 3. Out next is Austin Theory. Against Austin Theory, who is a multiple-time Intercontinental Champion, former Tag Team Champions with Grayson Waller. But of course, ever since breaking away from Grayson Waller, he was able to find a spot in Legacy. As crowd hates Austin Theory, and they are more on Seth Rollins' side. And of course, who do you think is walking away with the victory? Seth Rollins or Austin Theory? Let's get into this main event. Match begins with Seth Rollins. Oh, you can tell he's frustrated and he wants to get his lick back. And he's going all the way here. As of course, Austin Theory pretty much pushing Seth Rollins to the corner. As of course, Austin Theory is looking to make his boss, his teacher, Orton happy. Knee to the face. Moonsault by Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins. Stomping away at Austin Theory. Uh-oh. Oh, baby. He didn't get... We don't know what Rollins was thinking about. For a moment. Uh-oh. Pedigree connects. And of course, Seth Rollins takes down Austin Theory. Could he be ready for Randy Orton at Saturday Night Main Event? Only time can tell as Seth Rollins picks up the victory here on Smackdown tonight. As of course, could this be Randy Orton's fate tomorrow night? We're gonna have to wait and see it, ladies and gentlemen. Good night, everybody. As Seth Rollins sends what could be a preview for Randy Orton at Saturday Night Main Event. Good night, everybody.